Creation begins the moment your field returns to the geometry of the divine, but you still live trying to push reality with the force of your mind, while what truly shapes everything moves beneath your awareness. There is a structure that pulses silently around you, a field that radiates, returns, nourishes itself, and expands in a continuous flow. It does not run out. It does not rely on external sources. It is the very intelligence of the universe, repeated within you. They call it the toroidal field, but it is not just a shape. It is a portal, a pulse, a mirror between the unseen and the manifest. When this field activates within the body, something rare happens. Energy no longer escapes. It circulates. It feeds itself. It creates vibrational density, and with it, magnetism. You stop chasing and start orbiting. That is why reality does not shift when you shout. It shifts when you pulse in the right rhythm. This field is not passive. It creates, it protects, it guides, and you are about to remember how to activate it. From this point on, knowing is not enough. You need to feel the spin and allow it to transform you into something that almost no one notices, but that silently governs everything. A self-sustaining center of creation. Everything that exists emits, and everything that emits returns. This is the backbone of reality, but few see the architecture behind this dance. The toroidal field is that architecture, a flow that is born from the center, expands, curves, and returns to the same point. It is not a concept, it is a function. It is the way the human heart generates coherence. It is how the planet generates magnetism. It is how creation sustains itself without depending on outside forces. The universe pulses in this form, and when your body aligns with it, something extraordinary happens. You become source. Not just a channel source. Your energy no longer leaks and begins to nourish itself. This is the hidden code. The human body can generate a coherent toroidal field when moved with circular intention. Subtle spins, spiral movements, wave-like breathing. These gestures activate the circuit. And once the circuit is lit, it starts feeding you with the same energy that once dissipated. That is why certain masters seemed tireless. They did not burn out because they did not disconnect from their own source. Thoth taught this spin as a bridge between planes. Hermes concealed this secret in the correspondence. What is within is like what is without, but also what spins within shapes what is outside. And the traditions that survived the collapse of empires carried this in their bodies, in Tai Chi, in Qigong, in spiral dances. Everything that spins with intention activates what was asleep, and when you become a field that nourishes itself, there is no longer separation between energy and matter. You begin to generate, to protect, to manifest. Thoth did not write to teach, he wrote to activate. The tablets are not manuals, they are vibrational mirrors. Each symbol holds a frequency, each geometry a key. Among them, a recurring teaching, everything that sustains itself spins. Creation is not linear, it breathes in spirals. This pattern appears hidden in the legends of Atlantis, in Eastern mandalas, in hermetic seals, in the circular choreographies of the initiates. They did not spin out of ritual, they spun for realignment. They understood that the mind is a fragment, but the field, when activated, accesses totality. When Hermes encoded the universal principles, he did not place them in that order by chance. Mentalism comes first, but right below it, the second principle, correspondence. And this is where the toroidal field begins to emerge, as the bridge that links the invisible to matter. What is within is like what is without is not just a philosophical phrase. It is a reminder of the spin that connects all planes. This wisdom was protected, not out of elitism, but because of the risk. Because when a being discovers how to nourish their own energy, they become too free to be controlled. That is why these practices were disguised as dance, meditation, or art. The vibrational engineering had to be hidden behind harmless forms. But those who could see, knew. The toroidal field was not mystical, it was mechanical. A living spiral that organizes chaos, stabilizes the self, and creates resonance with the whole. And now, millennia later, the veil begins to lift. Not through grand revelations, but through the subtle spin of the body, remembering again. On the surface, the toroidal field seems esoteric, but when science approached it with precise instruments, it found the exact same structure, pulsing at the center of the human being. The HeartMath Institute showed that a heart in a state of coherence generates a measurable electromagnetic field that extends up to 3 meters beyond the physical body. And this field is not scattered. It organizes itself in a toroidal shape, with emission, return, and continuous self-adjustment. More than that, it influences the brain, regulates biological systems.
How was it?
Very nice. Have the flavor of wood that I expected.